Yesterday, we were talking about Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Instead of the word Buddham, we should introduce the word enlightenment. Buddham is the old age word, enlightenment is the new age word. So everybody say, enlightenment Sharanam Gacchami. Understand? So we are seeking enlightenment. And yesterday we also have come to know that there are three enlightenments. One is enlightenment before enlightenment. Second is enlightenment proper. Third is enlightenment after enlightenment. Now let us know a little more about these three departments. What is enlightenment before enlightenment? When Gautama Buddha left his palace, was he enlightened or not? When he left his palace, yeah. But after 5.5 years, then we came to know that under the Bodhi tree, then he got his enlightenment. So what was that enlightenment which made him go from the palace in search of truth? That is enlightenment before enlightenment. Without search for truth, you will not get the truth. That search for the truth is the first enlightenment. People don't seek truth. People don't search for truth. They search for money. Then it's not yet enlightenment. So when you say, okay, now I go out, now I keep everything aside and I want enlightenment. I want to know the truth. What so many rishis have got, why I should not get it? If a Buddha is enlightened, Mahavir is enlightened, Jesus is enlightened, okay, I also want to become enlightened. I don't know what is that enlightenment, but I want to become enlightened. So when you decide that I want enlightenment, that is enlightenment for you at that stage. Great enlightenment for you at that stage. So you go from pillar to post, guru to guru. Gautama Buddha went to 500 teachers, started practicing everything. Something is very good, something is not very good. Trying and testing everything. That is great enlightenment. When you are trying and testing everything, that is very, very great enlightenment. For example, I want to become like Dr. Sanjay Kingi. I want to play the sitar. I don't know sitar. Now I buy a sitar. Then I start learning the notes. I become a disciple of Dr. Sanjay Kingi. Then that is enlightenment for me. Earlier I didn't care for music. Now I want music. So I go daily to him. I learn from him and come back. Go daily to him. I used to go to my Guruji for flute. 6 hours, 6 kilometers, 1 hour cycling or even walking. Then he will give me some training for 2 hours, some bashing, some titting, quoting, all those things. And then I come here. So we have to go. That is enlightenment. When I want to learn music, is it not enlightenment? Tell me. After that, he was talking about so much Shruti and Laya. I could not understand what is that Shruti, what is that Laya. We were the students of meditation. It took 6 years for me to understand what exactly is Shruti, what exactly is Laya. When you understand Shruti, when you understand Laya, then of course you have become a master of music. Then you are enlightened in music. But it takes 6 years to reach that stage. That's hard work of 6 years, going and learning, coming back, practicing, trying to understand what the teacher is saying. That is great enlightenment. That is called as enlightenment before enlightenment. When Buddha left his palace, then he searched for truth. Then he practiced everything. That is enlightenment before enlightenment. And one fine day, when he opened his third eye, saw 3 things. First, the Janma Parampara. All the births he had seen, one after another. Then all the karmas he did in each janma and the karma phala in the next janma. Okay. Finally, he got the Ashtanga Marga, how to go out of the dukkha cycle. So all those things he got in one night. And that night is called as his enlightenment day. But right from when he went out of the palace, the questions began. That is the phase of enlightenment before enlightenment. If there is no enlightenment before enlightenment, you cannot get enlightenment. It's a long process. The first phase of enlightenment before enlightenment is a long process, pretty long process. That is the disciplehood. So the first enlightenment before enlightenment is called the disciplehood, the disciple state. That is great enlightenment. Then finally, suddenly you understand, you come out of the physical body and you see that you are not the physical body. This is what I wanted to know. Okay, I am outside the physical body. The physical body is doing meditation like this. I am outside and seeing the physical body. Then that is enlightenment proper. I am not this body, I am that, which is seeing this. So when you keep on doing meditation, someday, suddenly, the astral body comes out and you see the physical body. That is enlightenment proper. But that is not the end. Then the new world opens of enlightenment after enlightenment. So then you do meditation in the astral body, then you come out in the causal body. Then you do meditation in the causal body, you come out of the causal body, go into the extra causal body. All that phase is called as enlightenment after enlightenment. During all those travels, you will go to say various dimensions. The astral dimension, the causal dimension, so many dimensions are there, n number of dimensions. Then you come into contact with all the masters who are similar to you, who have also become enlightened, who have also had enlightenment before enlightenment, who are also seeking enlightenment after enlightenment. You meet all those people. You see all those things. Then you become a teacher. You become a disciple first, then you become a master, then you become a researcher, then you become a teacher. Disciple is enlightenment before enlightenment, master is enlightenment proper, then researcher is enlightenment after enlightenment, and teacher is enlightenment after enlightenment. It's a big drawn out process, the whole thing called as enlightenment. ENLIGHTMENT. Big process. When you first decide to start meditation, start listening to other masters, then your first phase of enlightenment began. If you didn't care for it, then you are living, of course, properly, of course, but still the first phase of enlightenment did not begin. Somebody asked Buddha, Swamiji, you are telling us such wonderful things. We have learnt everything from you. Then Buddha said, if I did not speak about everything, how can you learn everything from me? What I spoke to you is only, out of this tree, if I take handful of leaves, that's what I told you. I didn't teach the whole tree. But for you, for your happiness, for your coming out of suffering, these few leaves are enough for you. The rest of the whole tree is there for you to do research. So that is enlightenment after enlightenment. Those few leaves that he has taken and given to the disciple, they are enough, they are sufficient, they are right for the enlightenment before enlightenment. Once you become enlightened, you seek enlightenment after enlightenment. You become a researcher. In the year 1979, I became enlightened. Then my research started. Then my enlightenment after enlightenment started, after 1979. Then my teaching started. Teaching is enlightenment after enlightenment. The moment Buddha became enlightened, he was searching for somebody to teach. So that is enlightenment after enlightenment. If he did not teach anybody else, then he was enlightened, of course, but he did not seek enlightenment after enlightenment. Remember these three phases. Disciplehood is enlightenment before enlightenment. Realization is enlightenment proper. Then researching and teaching after you have realized, that is enlightenment after enlightenment.